All right, let's talk interviews. Today, we're diving into the ultimate playbook for absolutely mastering them. And listen, every single piece of advice we're about to cover comes straight from the expert guides over at GigHQ.ai, all designed to help you swap that anxiety for some serious confidence. You know that feeling, right? The interview kicks off, your heart starts pounding, and that one seemingly simple question feels like it weighs a ton. We've all been there. It's that universal, oh no, I'm on the spot moment. But it really doesn't have to be like that. And that's the secret sauce we're unpacking today. The folks at GigHQ.ai make it clear. Nailing an interview isn't about luck, and it's not just about having a killer resume. It's about having a repeatable, strategic system you can lean on every single time. It's a skill, and you can absolutely build it. So, here's how we're going to do it. First, we'll build out your strategic prep playbook. Then we're going to master those common questions you know are coming. After that, we'll talk about the subtle deal breakers to avoid. We'll cover how to reset after a tough interview, and then we'll tie it all together into your complete success system. Okay, let's get into the first and honestly most crucial stage, preparation. This is where you really lay the foundation for a confident interview. And trust me, it goes way, way beyond just a quick glance at the company's About Us page. And this, right here, shows the massive difference in mindset. The GigHQ.ai guides point out that amateurs just cram facts, but the pros, they're doing strategic analysis. They're digging into investor reports to see what the company actually cares about. They don't just rehearse answers in their head, they simulate real interviews. And their questions aren't generic, they're about strategy, showing they're already thinking like part of the team. So, how do you get that pro-level prep done? Well, the GigHQ.ai guides highlight a whole toolkit powered by AI. You can use something like Perplexity for super quick research on company trends. You can use Notebook LM to spot the weak points in your own career stories. And, of course, there's Smart Prep by GigHQ.ai itself, which is amazing. It creates custom mock interviews using your resume and the actual job description. It's practice that is totally laser-focused. Now, all that amazing prep feeds directly into the main event, answering the questions. And the key here isn't to memorize a bunch of scripts. No, it's about having a few solid mental frameworks that help you build incredible answers right there on the spot. Ah, the classic. Tell me about yourself. According to the guides on GigHQ.ai, you have to see this as more than just an icebreaker. This is your first and maybe your best chance to set the tone for the entire conversation. It's where you tell them who you are professionally and why you're the right person to be talking to. And here's the framework to absolutely nail it. It's called present, past, future. You start with the present. What's your current role? What do you do? Then, a quick nod to the past. How'd you get here? What skills did you pick up? And you finish by looking to the future. Why this specific role is the perfect next step for you. It's simple, it's powerful, and it tells your story in under 90 seconds. And now for everyone's favorite dreaded question. The goal here is definitely not to pretend you're flawless or to give a fake weakness like, oh, I'm just too much of a perfectionist. This question is a test. It's a test of your self-awareness and your commitment to actually growing as a professional. So, the framework from GigHQ.ai is brilliant. First, you name a real, genuine weakness. Maybe you have a tendency to overcommit and say yes to everything. Then, and this is the absolute key, you describe the specific system you've put in place to manage it. This shows you're not just honest, but you're proactive about getting better. Okay, let's talk about the small stuff that can have a huge impact. Sometimes it really isn't what you say, it's how you say it. These are the little things, the subtle behaviors that can totally undermine you without you even realizing it. We all do it when we get nervous, right? We fill the silence with, the advice from GigHQ.ai is so simple but so effective. Practice replacing those filler words with a pause. Just take a breath. It makes you sound way more confident, and it gives your actual message room to land with some real impact. Oh, this one is tricky but so important. Getting that I versus we balance right. You have to take ownership of your accomplishments, but if you say I all the time, you can sound like you're not a team player. The trick is to balance it. Talk about what we as a team did, then follow up with what I personally contributed. It shows you're a collaborator and an individual performer. You ever start telling a story in an interview and then realize you've totally lost the point? We've all been there. But rambling is a huge deal breaker because it buries your best achievements. The fix for this is to use a framework like STAR. It stands for situation, task, action, and result. It's like a secret weapon that forces you to keep your stories tight, focused, and powerful. Ideally, right in that 60 to 90-second sweet spot. So what happens when an interview just tanks? It happens to everyone. The most important thing is to reframe it in your mind. A bad interview isn't a failure. It's just data. It's a chance for you to learn something and get better for the next one.
Man, I love this quote from the GigHQ.ai guide. It just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures that resilient mindset. Every single interview, whether it feels good or bad, is just a stepping stone. It's not a final judgment on your worth. It's just one data point on your journey.
And here's the tool to actually do that reset, the after-action review. Sometime in the next 24 hours, just jot down what went well, even the small stuff. Then pick just 1 or 2 things you could improve on. And finally, create a concrete, actionable step for your next interview. This process turns that vague feeling of, that went bad, into a real plan for improvement. So let's put all of these pieces together. You can start to see how preparation, performance, and that post-interview reset all connect to create one powerful, repeatable system you can use every time. And this is it. This is the whole life cycle in action. You prepare strategically using research and awesome AI tools. Then you perform with confidence using those frameworks we talked about. And afterward, you reset with that after-action review, turning what you learned into fuel for your next prep session. It's a fantastic loop of continuous improvement. And it's so important to remember, this is not just some random advice. This entire playbook, from the AI prep tools to the answer frameworks, is all pulled directly from the incredibly comprehensive guides and expert resources you can find right now at GigHQ.ai.
So I guess the only question left is, are you ready to stop just winging it and start building your own interview success system? To go even deeper on all these ideas and get your hands on tools like Smart Prep, you can check out all the full guides over at GigHQ.ai.